Greetings and welcome to another Wednesday evening live stream with the Shower Door Professionals. Yes, we are the Shower Door Professionals. We get together every Wednesday evening to discuss business, education, safety, design, and everything there is to talk about when it comes to shower doors, shower door industry, glass industry in general. And I'd like to invite you to just take a minute now, if you can, to like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you can leave a review, that'd be awesome. It'll help other people in the shower door industry who haven't found out about this yet find us, and who knows, maybe they'll join the call. Be awesome. It's really cool to have new people on the call when we do, and you are welcome to join us. So if you're in the Facebook group or you're watching us, you can just click on the link and come on over, and maybe we'll let you on the call. Who knows? So anyway, it's great to be here. I've had an excellent week, staying busy. How about you guys? What's going on out there?
Staying busy.
Exceptional happening?
I already told you guys what happened to me. That's it.
I can't beat that story.
Yeah. Fortunately, that happened off mic. It wasn't that bad, really.
No, it was bad.
Pretty bad.
I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I have, at least maybe in our area, that the homeowner business has dropped, but the bigger projects have picked up. And when I say the bigger projects, the hotels, the resorts, something like that, they're spending the money, but the homeowner stuff has dropped off. And I truly think they're waiting on the election to see what happens. They're not buying their houses yet because the interest rates are up. And I know that a lot of the track home builders here are stacking up their inventory. Like Pulte is a big one. They've got like 600 homes not sold, built and not sold.
Yeah, I got one I've been working on for 4 years, a track home, and everything's custom. So, and I haven't had one all year yet, and I think they're waiting to. And then also, the superintendent that's on the job, he passed away to cancer, so that could be a problem as well. So, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was custom. Everything was custom and mirrors too. So it was pretty good. I've already done, over 100. It's probably gonna be more, probably more than that. So
nice.
But yeah, I had a contractor come in, and they're doing 2 hotels with plans with shower doors, but it might be a little too much for me to take on. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm gonna try. I got a buddy around here that might want to pitch in and help me out. Maybe we'll do something together. I don't know.
If you get jobs like that, you need to go to your supplier too and say, hey, you got to hold this price because this is a job that's going to last, 6 months, 8 months, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I've seen too many times you give out the bid on that thing, and then you're halfway through the thing and you get a big price increase and you didn't carry that number.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe even ask for a little bit of a discount, if you're going to be ordering a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes it's more important to ask them to hold that price for the duration of the job as opposed to a discount, because they'll give you the discount and then 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, price increase.
That's a good point, man. Yeah. It's if they hold the price, it's almost like a discount.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, Bill, you're not the first person I've heard mention that about, that business being down among homeowners, but kind of picking up with contractors and, bigger customers.
I've been around a long time here and seen these cycles. And usually when this happens, remodelers get busy because people are staying in their homes. So they said, well, I might as well fix it up. I'm not going to sell it now, so I'll fix it up to live in it and get it ready when I sell it. So we still have the opportunity to get good jobs. And what we should be doing is going to the remodeling council of the Home Builders Association and stay tight with those guys.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of old money, like older people doing remodels more for
Yeah,
themselves than anybody.
yeah,
And
that's right.
and they're doing bigger doors because they're trying to set up themselves for when they get older too.
Yep.
So I've been doing a lot of 3 foot wide doors, just a lot of them, like a lot. And so a lot for them. So and I've seen that a lot around here. And people
Yeah.
that have money too, that that
Right.
want to do it.
I'll tell you the other good thing is that phantom door, because you can do a nice wide sliding door with that because the header is so strong.
Well, they don't have that kind of money, but yeah, they want just a swinging door or something like that. Something, you know, cost something that doesn't cost that much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No.
What do you
Somebody
guys have a preference on when you're doing those wide doors like that? Do you prefer to do like a Plymouth style hinge, or do you prefer to do 3 hinges of a colonial style or something like that? What's your go-to preference on that?
I do whatever the weight limit and the height and the width limit for the hinges take. So
Mhm.
like the colonial, when I do things like that, I'll go to portals because their hinges hold a little more than the FHC and Sorel, and you don't get no slippage from portals, and so
Mhm.
I think yeah, I'll go to like their colonial equivalent hinge, and it holds pretty good. Now if it's like half inch or something, then I'll go up to what their Plymouth style. I'll go with that if it's half inch, just because
Yeah.
I want the stability and the you know the extra it gives and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
We
like
never do the 3 hinges because my experience is you can have, if the pivot points aren't perfectly aligned, you get some noise. Or I've seen the gaskets walk out of the center hinge sometimes. So I never do 3 hinges.
Me neither.
You talk to Danny Donahue, who's basically the guru on it. He always stays away from doing 3 hinges.
Oh, I
Always.
call
Yeah.
that guy all the time. If I have a question, I'll call him directly. I have his direct number. I'll call, hey man, what do you think about this? And
Yeah.
he always finds time to talk to me and stuff like that. So yeah, he's very good. I like him.
We like to usually do 2 hinges, and we'll just upgrade to the Plymouth style hinge or something like that. So, because we just tell them straight up that we have more problems with 3 hinges, if they're adamant about it, so we just tell them that they make a hinge specifically for this, So they're just curious, what you guys like.
I don't even give them the option. I just do it. They don't know. We are professionals. We know better.
You don't have, you
We
don't
have a
have
lot of
customers asking for 4 hinges?
Oh yeah, we have customers ask for a lot of stuff. They'll be like, "Does it need 4 inches?" I'm like, "No, it doesn't even need 3." So but yeah. So I just, we always try to stick with 2. But I was just curious what you guys are doing.
We do pivots, so that's out of the question.
I know.
And the senior Prima will hold a lot. And I've hinged off of other panels using that senior Prima and I've gone over spec with Danny Donahue's blessing. I kind of told him what I was up to, and wow, it was fine. It's a beast.
Yeah.
I have a question regarding application and stuff. I see a lot of people that like to use the transoms to connect inline panels and stuff like that and hinge a door off of a fixed panel. So we tend to stay away from hinging fixed doors off of fixed panels that are bigger than 22 inches. We try to stick with that, CRL typical guidance. But, I have a designer that designed one, and they're kind of adamant about the door swing and the panels. That particular panel is going to end up being 48 inches or so, 48 by 103, something like that. So I'm trying to think, I tried convincing my dad, the owner, to possibly consider doing a transom above it and tying it in. But he was, we're just contemplating how much support does connecting a transom to that actually add? And is it in guidance to any particular vendor or hardware supplier? Like, are any suppliers saying that, hey, you can attach this door to that fixed panel because you're doing this transom? or
How tall is the transom?
it'd be whatever we wanted to make it. But I mean, the overall unit is
Well, if
103.
Yeah, so if you could have a 20-inch transom and use 2 clamps on it to your fixed panel, that's a lot of support. And then you can do a pivot hinge off of the transom or off the side panel, probably. Probably use 1/2-inch glass.
Correct.
So you find, I'm assuming you find more stability when you have 2 points of connection on the transom versus just a singular point.
If you have a panel that wide, I would say so, yeah.
And does it pass, like, is it like within any guidance of some sort so we can actually warranty it?
Bill, I think you could answer that better. I mean, I don't
Probably
know
not.
if there's a special guideline specifically for that.
No, there isn't that I've seen. You just have to do it from experimentation of what works, because that's a rare situation. Again, we have a pivot that would go to that panel, but you just got to either run that panel all the way up to the ceiling to stabilize it. If you can't, then we use the heavy duty wall clamps on that, and we'll go 48 inches wide. We don't want to, but keep in mind when you're using pivots, you're not swinging that panel. It's just rocking back and forth. There's a lot less swing, a lot less.
I'll have to look into that.
I've done that numerous times, Daniel. It works fine.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that, actually, using the pivot hinges versus that. That could be an option too, So I'm trying to convince them to just switch the hinge and hinge it off of a panel on the left side and just do like a 16-inch panel, hinge it off of that. But I'm just curious, so because I see it a lot.
I will go take a picture of one right now. I've got one right here in my house. I'll take a picture and I'll hold it up to the screen. I'll show you.
I've done one glass to glass hinges about that wide, that tall. With the, like Brad said, I did two 180 clamps on one on each side for my transom, and then I did the heavy duty clamps on the wall, on each wall, on both sides. So there's not a lot of flex. There's not a lot of flex in the glass. And then I did 1/2 inch, and instead of doing 1/2 inch on the door, I went 3/8, just so the weight's not so much. And it's still standing to the day. I haven't gone back to even no problems.
I just want to make sure we cover ourselves, as far as warranties, because it's a $5-6 million home, and I don't want the homeowners, I'm sure they got plenty of money to come after you, so I want to make sure we stay within guidelines so that we CYA a little bit,
Well, when I designed that on Showers Online, it did rad flag me, but it allowed me to do it. So it was okay, but I mean, it's all up to you. Now, if it was like a big no-no, it would have never let me save it, or it would tell me to change it. But it doesn't tell me, so I'm like, okay, well, we're good to go. Just got to make sure the flex and everything is there, and
that's kind of what I'm thinking about, is like the flex. Like how much flex does it actually get rid of?
The one I did was pretty solid, man. I mean, I was trying to rock it. I was slapping and hitting it, like it was nice and solid. There was nothing. That thing was not moving for nothing. I think the secret is using the 1/2 inch glass with the heavy duty clamps. That's the secret, I think.
We do that that's just kind of a standard for us, when we're hinging off a glass, 1/2 inch glass.
But I did it on both sides though, so it looks the same, and then also gives gives that a little extra support.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all on you though, man. If you do it like that,
this one
is a gray area.
We can't go to the ceiling because it's drywall and it's 144 inches to the ceiling, so it's not. It's not something you want to go to the ceiling with. That's not an option, and support bars are way out of the question. So it's either a header or convincing them to switch to the hinge, to the left side versus the right side. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm back. Chris, if I text it to you, can you put it up on the screen? Would that be better than me holding my camera up to the...
Here, let me send you the number to text it to.
I'm doing a 28 by 104 inch door with 2 Plymouth hinges. Perfectly fine.
Yeah. This is going to be about 103. So
100 or what?
About 103. We just, we like to hit grout lines, so we stop it
Yeah.
exactly at a grout line and stuff. And like I said, it's
Totally
a 12-foot ceiling, so
Oh, look good.
I see it, Chris.
yeah.
So you don't really need a big transom though. Maybe like a 6-inch transom, and then just do one
Yeah.
clamp on each, and then just do like a 100-inch door. I think it'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah, just we were just thinking like the single clamps on the transom, like how much it's got to, like even when you do support bars, if you do vertically, you got to hit 2 points. So it's like, how much is the single transom clamp actually doing? So I don't know.
So,
Yeah,
no
how much
different
does
than-
a support bar actually do, you know?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Like Chris said. Yeah,
if you're
I was
going
just gonna
vertically,
say
you
that.
got to hit 2 points, or you got to return it straight back or something like that.
Well, they have
Little
those
weird.
support bars that span 2 panels, right? That go like over the top of a door. So it just kind of clamps on. It's with no fab, just pressure clamp, from one panel to the other panel over the top of the door. And because really a lot of times you don't need that much extra support. You just need a little bit of something.
Mhm.
Now, I do like the idea of what Brad was saying of like using a bigger transom and 2 clamps on each side. I mean, I've never heard that before, but that makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense to me. I mean, I think that would add a lot of extra
That'll work.
support.
Yeah, that actually sounds a lot better than doing a single one because you got 2 points and it can't twist or anything like that, So that would be better if we did that. But I'm just trying to make sure we stay in like some sort of hardware guidelines so we can
Mhm.
always cover ourselves because we plan on being open for a long time.
It's
So-
gonna still fly you if you have 2
Usually
clamps.
the one way you just install and just cross your fingers. Hey, just go for
We
it.
don't-
What were you
We
saying,
can't-
Dana?
It's gonna flag you if you have 2 clamps on the transom on each side, in the CR Lawrence program. You can't be more than 22 inches wide and 84 inches tall on the panel you're hinging off of.
You say it will flag you if you try to use 2 clamps on the transom?
Yep, I just wrote it up and it did, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, so that's kind of like their CYA, they did their job covering themselves with that. So I just gotta make sure we cover
We're
ourselves.
using that Smart Builder program, and we have the ability to override the warnings, so we can set the parameters.
I've never looked at the specs though on the pivot hinges, like Bill's taking a picture of and sending to us. I've never looked at that application, what the requirements would be on that, so I don't know if it's different.
Well, if you look, if you got the old CR Lawrence catalogs, those to me are valuable.
We've got some old ones.
Yeah, and they have great charts. They're easier to look stuff up, I think. And they have all the maximum width and weights. So, I think you'd be fine there if you just stay within those guidelines. And, you just need to have a structure that is going to support it. So you could probably do the one transom clamp and a smaller transom. I just feel with something that big, I'd feel better with 2, but that's going to look kind of bulky. But if it's a real big system, it'd probably be fine. Here we go. Yeah.
This is the picture that Bill just sent me.
How big is that panel?
The panel's about 30 inches.
Is it on a knee wall too? So it's
Yeah, I've sent them 3
Good.
pictures. One of them's a
Oh, okay.
video after that. You'll see the whole thing. It's actually, it's identical. You're seeing half the shower. So
yeah.
the two end panels are on half walls and the doors are French doors in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you probably get some more stability being that those panels are on a knee wall.
They are, and they're half-inch. They're
Yeah.
half-inch panels, half-inch door.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna look that up though, the specs on a pivot hinge that goes over like that and see if I can extend it a little bit, but I'm hoping they'll just come back and switch it to the left side.
Hey, Bill, do you ever flush, do like a notch that allows you to flush your hinge to the top?
Yep, sure do. It's an option. We bring in a lot of stock glass, and if people don't want to pay for the option, that's the way it goes. And if they want, then we have the other notch that we can bury it down. Yep.
Wow, you do stock doors and the pivots?
Oh yeah. Hundreds, thousands of them.
Wow. Okay. Are you getting out of squares at all or just squares?
No, I'm not buying out of square. If they're out of square, we make them.
Got it.
Most of the time we're making it work.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
Let's
I don't
see if I
know,
can
Chris,
share this other
if you got the
picture.
video, yeah, if you can share that video, you can really see it better.
And Daniel,
that
just so
other
you know, we have one of those in our showroom too, with that type of clamp or hinge rather, the pivot.
So they have other types of brackets. I chose not to put anything on the vertical wall, but you can use the heavy duty wall brackets vertically if you need to keep it from rotating in or out. Hard to see, but there's a chrome channel underneath that panel on this picture. Yeah, you can see it on the left side.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Looks good.
All right, there's the
And
video.
what's the max width that your pivot hinges will hold for a door, max width door?
Not enough information to answer that, Brian, because it depends on the weight of the glass and the height that you're going. So I don't go by just width. Because
Okay.
obviously I can go 40 inches wide. The other thing is it depends also, are you mounting it off the wall or can you go to the ceiling? Because you can those pivot hinges don't have to be at the edge of the glass. You can bring them in 6 inches, 8 inches, top and
Sure.
bottom, if you want the other end of the door to swing freely. So it's almost like a counterbalance.
Right, sure.
And if I'm using 3/8, obviously I can go taller or wider. The only thing I don't like using 3/8 going tall, it gets too much flex. That's why we like staying 1/2 inch panels, 1/2 inch. If you're using 1/2 inch, I do panels and doors in 1/2 inch. Rare. I want to say almost never do we do 1/2 inch panels and 3/8 doors. If we do, it's because we're using their hinges for whatever reason or a finish that we don't have, and we've got to use glass to glass hinges. So then we'll swing a 3/8 off a 1/2 inch panel. But on pivots, the weight's all sitting on the floor. You know, the top is just kind of keeping it stable. You just want to keep that panel from wiggling. But my God, with the weight sitting down there and that bottom pivot being so stable on this threshold, you're getting probably 1/10 of the deflection you would get with hinging them off the other panel of glass. And they don't need to be our pivots. It can be anybody's pivots. You know, just
Thank
the
you for
fact
getting that video and pictures.
Yeah, I mean, I think that really helps what you're talking about. And yeah, you can even still do a transom over the top of that if you wanted to. Go up a little higher with that panel and run. Some guys don't even do a transom. They actually do an L-shaped panel. So that panel's all one. You know,
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that
you
just
can do that.
eliminates that hardware there.
Mhm.
I mean, I wouldn't make it an icicle. I'd make it a substantial panel, but yeah, you can do that. Obviously, there's stress at that corner. It's not really recommended, but I've seen it done enough.
What do you think, Shannon? You're a fabricator. Why don't you weigh in? You're all quiet over there.
We don't do a ton of pivots, so I don't know. And we're kind of wussy. I mean, I always like he was saying, we always stick within the guidelines, so 22 inches. However, like Bill was showing on top of a base wall, you know, when it's not the full panel, we'll go a little bigger than 22 inches.
Yeah.
But you know what I hate? I recognize Bill is exactly right. You got to have the experience. You got to test things out. You got to figure it out. I hate that we're all living in the wild, wild west where we don't have, engineering and anything to stand on. It's like tribal knowledge.
That's why that design guide was so important. Shannon,
Yeah,
because
but we stayed away from the really
you
the
stay,
really tough
you know,
areas.
you know why? You know,
Yeah,
because
because I think Bill said at the very beginning, I do not intend to create a document that's going to be used to hang me later on.
exactly
He's
right.
right on, right
That's
on.
exactly right. And they will. And they will.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do that. Where you can use the words may, you may want to do this or you can do this, but it doesn't say you have to or you must. You
All
stay
our
away from
lawyer
that.
words. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's recommended to do it a certain way, maybe, but
Yeah, just really, really careful on the wording because they will hang you on that.
yep.
And I say
Yeah.
they, meaning the legal profession. That,
They.
yeah, those theys.
And even when the homeowner seems so nice and they wouldn't do that, well, their insurance agent sure would.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure. Run
Yeah.
into all sorts of situations like that. Yeah.
You
This
know,
is one
we're
of those
near.
in,
I think what Chris was asking you, Shannon, as a fabricator, if somebody,
Mhm.
do you only fabricate your own or are you doing for outside too? All
Only
right.
our own.
So
Yeah.
if somebody sent you a drawing of a panel with a leg as a, you know what I'm saying? The transom's all built into the panel. So that picture that we showed, the panel and the door, well, that panel would then have a leg to go over the top of the door to the far wall. Would you fabricate it? You
No,
wouldn't.
no. When we so we've got these pictures that we send out to the designers and the contractors, and if they've got a door that they want to swing off of a panel, we say, here are your 4 options. Option number 1, swing off of a wall. Option number 2, um, use a header. Option number 3, bring the panel to the ceiling. And maybe I lied. Maybe there isn't an option.
No,
number
you
4.
got it. And then
It's more
4
than
would be a
less.
1/2 inch panel, less
Yes.
22 inches or less.
Yeah, yeah. But now if they have an extra big panel that they're trying to support, we're taking care of that floppy edge, then we'll do those things, the header, and then we'll also do the transom over the top, and we'll do a support bar, but we don't make the transom or the support bar, we don't call that strong enough to hold the panel. It's just us. We
So
won't
when you fabricate, are you selling them the hardware kit also?
we fabricate and install. So we
Well,
decide
no.
everything.
So I'm not talking about your own installation crew. If you sell to other glass shops, right? Oh, you don't.
No, they
That's what
don't.
I asked you in the beginning.
Yeah.
If you,
Oh, sorry, I meant to say no.
No, you
You don't
did. You
fab-
said no.
she
Oh.
did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, they only install their own stuff.
their own stuff. You only fabricate for yourself.
Only fabricate for themselves.
All right. Okay. That makes difference. We fabricate for anybody.
Right. Yeah.
So if they ordered that, they're going to get that, because we don't have to ask them where it's going or what it's doing. If this
Right. You
piece
can
of
say to
paper
them,
came
it's
in
your
with a
thing.
drawing, this is yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey, now
like,
I've seen like a big panel with like the door cut out of it,
right.
do you ever do something like that, Bill?
Sure. Yeah.
Rad. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love those kind of things.
Yeah.
you mean
we've
we're a
done,
big panel with the cutout for a door?
Yeah.
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 I
So
did
like a
one
big,
once. I did
Yeah.
one once. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah.
So you got a
Yeah.
big U-shaped piece of glass basically you're bringing in.
Yeah, and then we can put the pivot
Sure.
hinge up, like you mentioned, into the,
Yep.
so the upper part of the U is the transom, so to speak, right? But that's got to be a certain thickness to hold that. You're
Yeah.
putting your notch in there for that bracket to go up to hold the top of the pivot. So it's got to be big enough to hold that and still keep some strength.
And the one that I did was all pressure fit, top,
Wow.
bottom, and sides.
Wow.
And it all fit. First, I mean, just it's like, wow, I was sweating that one. But
Well, it's good measurements and great fabrication.
yep, yep. And
And
use
then-
the pivot hinges just like what you were talking about.
Yeah, it works. It's a hell of a look.
Mhm.
Got to price it accordingly because they don't all go in like you say.
Right. Yeah, we have an electrified glass one right now. I think we said that maybe last meeting, but wow, that one we're taking a lot of time with. Actually, Bill, you gave us the lead for who to use, which was M3. They're spendy, but we're getting information and they're really helping us.
They're good people. They're such
Yeah.
really good people. Yeah.
Mhm.
They're always at the glass show, Brad. You'll have to stop by and say hi.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we are. We've already actually we're going to do a tour at their place.
Oh, awesome.
That's right.
They're
not
they're
far
in
from there.
Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know
I
whether
mean,
or
I'm
not
sure-
they should be members here of this group.
What's that?
They should be members of this group.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, they should be.
They're a great company. I think it's Chris. Chris is one of the owners.
Yeah, Mammon, MAMMEN,
Yep.
I think.
Yep. And it's M3. It's like us with D3, M3, because there was 3 of them. It's him, his brother, his father.
Mm.
Very similar to us. But good people, real good people. I'm glad you
Yeah.
got the job.
Yeah, me too. So there's complications, and it's mostly the builder. And I met with him today just to let him know the cabinet, it needs to be moved and it's got to be more significant than what he's thinking. So I know when we get into it, what I'm going to be dealing with, but it is what it is.
Is it just one panel that's electrified or more than one?
3, door and 2 panels.
So they're electrifying the door for you also?
Yeah.
And I'd love to see a picture of that at the end to see how they've
Okay.
done it. What kind of hinge are you using?
It's going to be a low profile rail, the full rail on the bottom and the top.
Okay, that's where you're going to put their bus
Yeah.
bar in it. Okay.
Yeah, and the customer wasn't real happy with the commercial look, but I'm doing the low profile, so it's like 2 1/4 tall.
I was
So
wondering,
it must be the one that Christina posted about. She's got a post in
Oh,
Pro
he was
saying anyone
looking
have a
for
picture of
pictures.
this? Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking for pictures. The one thing is the pivot hinge assembly, the pivot that you mount into the floor. Doing a little homework, it looks like there's like 4 or 5 different ones you can use. And the other part of this complication is that it's a heated floor. So I had to drill into the floor. I went out, I just bought an image camera that you put on your phone. It was over $300.
Yep.
It's FLIR, 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 something like that.
Yeah.
We went out today, turned on the floor, and you could see the cables.
Yeah.
So guys, I mean, that was pretty cool. So we mapped out, took 2 people. I had to hold the phone up while one guy started tracing it on the floor.
Yeah.
So we know where we're drilling.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to buy one, you can run.
You know what? I think you're going to want one you could go around your house, find out where your insulation's messed up. You can find out where there's water leaks. I mean, we're in the shower door business. Water leak. It's supposed to be able to identify that. So it takes a little training, I think, to figure it all out. So I'm new with
the one that you picked up.
The one I picked up is the FLIR something Pro, FLIR 1 Pro.
FLIR?
Yep.
All right, Robert, post it.
Yeah, what's up, man? I can't believe
I'm on my
it's
cell phone. I'm not on a computer, so.
I'm already on it, Bill. You got it.
Robert, you're slacking, man.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yep. And by the way, I didn't do a lot of homework selecting these cameras, but in the quick homework I did, the FLIR sounded like it was probably one of the leaders. So, I mean, there could be better ones out there, but I don't know.
They're the ones that we rented too. That's what they
Okay.
Ran out at Home Depot.
There you go.
Oh, I didn't even know you could rent one, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if
You
you're only
saw-
going to do one, once or twice a year, I mean, might as well just rent it. But
I'm running
then
into
having
heated
the
floors
toy is
all the
fun too,
time.
though.
I run into heated floors all the time.
Yeah,
So I think it's worth having.
I guess
But
it depends on where you live too. Like here in like Santa Cruz, California, probably not as many heated floors as there are in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine that. Yeah, it's probably a lot more in Atlanta.
Hey, you might even be able to locate the mice in your walls.
What mice? I don't have any mice in my walls. How did you know I have mice in my walls?
So yeah,
Cool.
Bill, you were saying something about homeowners slowing down. I'm just seeing more and more where it's the higher end homeowners are buying, and we're losing the middle class in business. And with the new price increase, we upped our price accordingly, and all of a sudden now we're too high. We're getting that feedback instantly. So it's like I think we need to ease into it a little bit.
How are you answering that though? Because you've still got to sell yourself and you got to sell value. So you're
Well,
too high compared to what?
Right. No, they're showing us quotes of other people. I mean, this is just something, that I just saw, and Christina commented on it. And I'm not the one who's directly selling all the time right now. So it's, I talk to the team. Same thing. It's the same thing. But I knew it was going to be like this because I think a lot of companies are just slow to raise their price. And we jumped right on it early and actually before the price increase. And so,
It's okay. You'll be there.
yeah, it's okay.
Right.
It's a blip.
Yeah. The other guys aren't that busy. They're not going to be around long. You got to stay busy, keep your profits up there. You got to stay in business, right?
And vote for Trump.
Yeah.
On the note, yeah, we're seeing very similar stuff, Brad, as far as the market and like who we're selling to right now. Some fun stuff that we do because we get a little bit into the commercial stuff. We've got, we have a relationship with a contractor and they're building a horse barn, and it's, they added a bunch of storefront to it, and it's gotten over to about a little over $100,000 for a storefront job on a horse barn. And so this would be our first $100,000 plus job, as far as just a singular job, which is kind of fun and interesting. And my dad was a little hesitant to send the pricing and stuff. I'm like, said, you just never done it before. I said, it's okay. Send it. Let's go. I said, what better time than when we're slow to go do a storefront job of this, that you've never done before, of the size. So that, and then we also picked up a handrail job. We've never really been into handrails, but we've supplied some glass for a particular company before for handrails. I'm like, okay, so we're supplying it. I said, well, the next step is just doing it. And we got a lead on one, a referral. And so we picked up a glass handrail job around a pool, and, we got it. So that'll be fun too, some slowly opening up some other doors and then convincing him that it's okay to do big jobs, like, hey man, it's okay. You're just, you've never done it before. Get a deposit and move on. Let's go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. But so yeah,
you're
people...
a good coach for your dad there. That's a good thing. I've got it. By the way, I have a handrail also, but it's on a stair going down, and the end caps are for just capping the end of a tube, right? But I need to angle it. So I got a price from Sarah Lawrence for that, and it's like ridiculous. I mean, it's like $600 and something for an 84-inch handrail, plus I can't remember how much it was for the end cap. And the mounting bracket has to be custom too.
It's all relative though. It's like they're, you know, we priced it against another company and we were, you know, it's fine, we got it. So it's just a matter of, you know, you've never priced it before, so you're not familiar with the pricing, you know, and honestly, that's the pricing. It's everybody's price is like that for it. So it's just a different animal, you know, and understanding that. So I've been trying to watch Keith a lot, and then just a lot of other people that do stuff like that. And it's just a different animal, you know, and it's fine. It's just, you know, it is what it is. And I think it's more simple than it seems to an extent.
Well, going straight would be pretty easy. Bill, how do you do a handrail and cap the end when it's on an angle?
First of all, I don't. That's all Keith. So I don't know what he does. I don't have anything to do with handrails or wine closets or anything like that. That's all Keith.
Okay.
So I can't even answer it.
Yeah, I've never
we use the
bothered.
Q railing solutions. They have a pretty simple, almost snap together, but it's glued, segmented pieces for handrail that a little more cost effective than what I found with CRL. So check out Q railing. They're pretty
Awesome.
good.
I've heard of them, but I don't know. Okay. Thanks for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Q railing and portals. Portals actually has some handrail stuff too. Might be worth checking into over there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty new to the product line. It's only, I don't know, maybe 4 months, give or take. Some
Okay.
nice stuff though.
Okay. I'm glad that we kind of evolved to that question. I wasn't even thinking about it. So,
Nice.
okay, I'm not going to bogart the conversation.
Those are good questions. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember ever seeing somebody cut the end of the railing at an angle like that just because it ends going down. You know, I mean, usually
I guess
think you
it
just
could
cut it
go
off
past
flush.
and then cap it.
Yeah, just cut it flush and like normal and cap it. I mean, I don't think it would look that bad.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I guess.
You're right, Chris.
I think that's what people normally do. I mean, I appreciate what you're saying and kudos for, you know, the effort. It's pretty cool. But
well, I don't know what I don't know. I mean, that's new to me.
well, and that's the thing, you know, about this. Like Daniel was just talking about like doing railing. I mean, I haven't done it before. Do it. You know, it's like I always figure, hey, the first one that I do, just expect to like break even on it, you know, and figure it's going to take longer than it should. Probably going to screw something up. Probably going to cut something wrong. Probably, you know, and just figure like this is like tuition, right? I mean, it's like you're taking a class, you're learning on the job, you get the opportunity to do it, and try to figure, you know, that into the price too. Like price it high enough to figure like how much would I charge if like I really didn't know how to do this, but I was going to do it anyway.
And as far as ideals and stuff like that, there's so many people in this group, like the guy Sean, I like watching his stuff too. Sean, Brandon, and then Keith, they all have lots of like just as far as visual examples of handrails and stuff. There's just so many people in this group that you can follow. And then I think it's what is it, Glacier Nation. You can follow some stuff on there. And there's just so many things that you wouldn't normally think of. You know, like I thought all handrails had to dead end, like go to the floor and stuff like that and tie into the floor, into a wall. I've seen, and I saw them the other day. I'm like, okay, they're capped off. They just cap off at the end. I'm like, I didn't know that was an option. So that's our biggest thing, is making sure we're doing things that are within code and stuff like that, but we really don't even know the code. But I mean, it's available to figure it out somewhere, you know, so just learn it and learn what everybody else is doing and go do it. So but there's so much information out there as far as in this group.
Yeah, and guys are pretty willing to help too. You know, I mean, if you you know, I get a call from time to time from somebody, you know, asking my opinion on something, and I'm, you know, happy to steer them wrong, you know, or maybe right. I don't know, but yeah, you know, most guys in the group are just happy to, you know, share their experience with you. That's what we're here for, man. Feel the love.
I feel like we have to start getting into handrail stuff at a certain point. I mean, there's so much as far as the high end stuff, people doing it. And I see a lot of glass companies, shower door companies that are getting into the handrail stuff too. And I have a feeling it's going to be like they want to encompass, as far as the builders go, I have a feeling they're going to want to encompass trades that can do all of it, and so they don't have to source it elsewhere, kind of similar to how they like to source the basics of our trade. Like, I mean, our basics are shelving, mirrors, and shower doors, and then some other stuff, but I have a feeling eventually a lot of the higher end people are going to want to stick with a shower door company that can do handrails as well. So I feel like we have to almost get into it,
Or you guys
And
go
we're
back
not.
to, or you guys go back to Old Faithful, fix broken windows, hang mirrors,
Yeah.
back to that, replace storefront glass.
Love it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Love it.
is
Get out your
where
money
everybody
bucket.
started from, man. And we make screen, we do it all here, man. So I don't have to worry about handrails. I do one handrail job, never do one again. I care less for it. it's too,
I learned my lesson.
it's too much work. It's like I could do 2 shower doors a day, 3, and then freaking be happy with that. Hey, forget that.
There is an option. Sorry, option C. So we have partnered with a couple of handrail companies. So one of the companies specializes in wood handrails, the other one specializes in metal. And we say, okay, here's who to call. And then they buy the glass part from us. So they do all of that. What I don't want to deal with is subfloors. How much will your handrail hold up? Well, it depends. What are you digging into? What's down there? Just scares me. So we partner with someone, and then that way you get the best of both worlds. We don't have to do all of that stuff, but that the other people still feel like they're just hiring one person because we communicate ourselves.
Exactly. So yeah, same thing with I work with a local welder, and somebody wants a rail, I'll send them there and they'll build them a tubing rail and I'll go put glass in it. Hey, that's easy. I'll do that all day. Anything else, I forget it. Let them deal with the structure of it all and stuff like that, and not just put the glass in. I'm good with that one. So
our guy's done some cool grid showers too. So when you get into the true grid shower where it really is all made of metal and everything, we give it to our welder.
That's where our hesitancy is as well, is in the structure support and stuff like that, and what's underneath, and are we attaching to the right things, so that's where our reluctance comes from.
Yeah, so here to do a railing, like in my neighborhood, you need to hire a professional engineer to engineer it. So in order to for code, yeah, you need engineering, you need and all that. And so that was one of the things when I first started doing it, I really didn't realize that. I was just kind of winging it. And then as I looked into it, I learned, oh no, this is what you need to do. So I mean, you can actually CRL will provide that service too. So you can actually send all of your drawings to CRL. They'll spec everything. They'll provide the engineering, but it's expensive. And so to do it right and check all the boxes, it's expensive. And it's a lot of work too to put together a quote like that, not knowing if you're going to get the work, So I started shying away from it in the later days of, Showcase Shower Door. I was just like, it's just shower doors are so easy and so profitable, man. I mean, like, why dabble in all this other stuff?
Well, Chris, maybe you ought to be looking at the people that are engineering that kind of stuff in your local or in your vicinity and see if you could be their glass source.
Yeah, right. That's a great idea.
Let them do all that work, call you to install the glass.
Right. Like meet the architects and stuff like that, and just, hey, why don't you spec or what do? They specify you as an installer drawings and stuff, like as kind of a brand or whatever.
Oh, yeah. The other thing I wanted to say about Shannon's grids. When we used to apply the grids, what I hated about applied grids. Now I know she might be talking about something else, so Shannon, you might fill me in. But if you have a true grid, it gets dirty and where the little top lip is of the grids. Dust can get in there. And if you don't have a grid on the other side, you can see it through the glass. So Shannon, are the grids you're talking about like in front of the glass and held off of the glass a little bit?
Yeah, we've done a variety with this guy. One of the options is he actually cuts the entire grid out of metal. So it's a sheet of metal that has had all of the center sections cut out so that it's all connected and you don't have that ugly connection where the plastic pieces meet up when you're doing it that way. And then as it's applied, we'll either apply it with black tape and we show people the picture of, what potentially the backside could look with the bubbles, or we do if they're spending that much, we'll do the painted grids in the same spot so that then that way it's paint on one side and then the grid on the other side. But we have actually done showers where he has created an actual metal frame and we put the glass in it and he put a metal, it's just like the old fashioned
true divided light.
There you go. True divided light.
Divided light in a shower, which is so stupid. I can't even imagine how disgusting it is. All you can do is tell people that they're idiots and then take their money. And that's, what else is there to do?
It's the shower that you don't actually use, right? It's the shower just for
the
looks
guest
in the hall.
It could be the guest one in the hall. That's right.
Exactly. Just walk by it. Don't use it, though.
Yep. We had another guy, it was a different welder, but he had actually put together the true divided lights and he had us putty stop all the glass in.
Ooh.
It was a shower. It's so gross.
So now you're a true glazer.
Yeah.
That's what glazing is.
Well, talk to Chris. We all are.
That's right. We're all glazers here.
I still say it's a derogatory term.
Well, we need to
You're a glazer, man.
We need to own it.
I agree.
Or come up with a better word. I don't know what it is. Glassgineer? Or glastronaut.
That's right.
Yeah. Glastronaut. How do you like that?
Hey, well, that's pretty high tech.
Could we be fenestrators, or is that a window guy?
Yeah.
That's window.
Windows, yeah.
Oh, dang.
I still like glastronaut. I'm going with that.
I like that. Yeah. Huh.
Or like glastic surgeon.
You're working hard at it.
Help me out here. Help me out.
Is anybody interested in this fun topic? Insurance. We just kind of went over our insurance update for the year coming up and shopping it. How's everybody doing with insurance? That's a very fun time of the year right now. We have our renewal. Ours is in November, so I think our insurance it's all going up. But how hard do you guys shop it, and what do you like? Who has to deal with some that kind of stuff for
that
employees and then workers' comp insurance and stuff?
Great topic for another meeting. You can't cover that in 4 minutes.
That's a whole meeting right there.
Yeah.
Insurance companies are like leaving California. Literally, like
I've heard that. Yeah.
It's crazy. After like the forest fires and stuff from a year or two ago, they paid out so much money that their people's insurance rates are going up like triple if they can get it at all. And it's crazy.
We had a company that we subcontracted stuff out to, and we knew the owners and stuff, and they were self-insured. Like, so there was workers' comp. They, I guess they had enough funds saved up that they were self-insured. I was wondering if anybody does like their workers' compensation and they're self-insured versus having an actual company do it. I don't know. There's just tons of stuff with it, but that's a interesting thing. So being self-insured as far as the workers' compensation goes, how do you get to that point? And then also just the fun stuff of employee health insurance.
Maybe we'll see if we can find an entertaining insurance person.
I don't know. That's pretty boring
I mean, that's
stuff.
asking a lot, right? but yeah, I know this guy, this mortgage guy, who you could listen to him read the dictionary. I mean, this guy's got like the smoothest tones, man. I should see if I can get him to come on.
Finding someone, even if they are boring, is probably better than all of us guessing at what might or might not be the right thing to do when it comes to insurance.
Yeah, you got a good point there, Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see what we can scratch up.
I just hate insurance because I feel like it's just money being thrown away until you need it. But it's like it's like you don't need it for so long, but then you need it once.
Yeah, they have no trouble collecting it from you, but they sure hate paying it out.
Tell me about it.
I guess we're all like that, though. What else? Anything else? Got about a minute.
Well,
well, hey, thanks for showing up, everybody.
Oh gosh, there was a passing thought regarding all that, and I like this insurance idea. I think we need to bring it up. I could talk to my guy just to see if he would be willing to do this, but I haven't shopped it, and it's probably not a bad idea to shop it, but I feel like he's also giving us a good rate. I don't know. You never know till you do it. So the medical, that's what I was going to say. It's the medical stuff, medical insurance, and or for your guys. The politicians, if they want to do something right, they need to help small businesses obtain insurance for their employees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just realized my parents, between the two of them, make up half of the total amount of our 12 people of the insurance cost. Oh, that was crazy. So the cost to insure to not be rude here, I guess, but the cost to insure the older portion of our staff is ridiculous compared to the younger portion. And it's like, Jesus, I don't know.
Hey,
What do you
Daniel,
do?
wait till you go to the doctor, let's say 10 years from now, and then they start talking to you as if you're middle age. You're that close. You're that close, buddy.
I know. It's coming.
How old are your parents, Dad?
61 and 63 or 4.
Man, I didn't know people lived to be that old.
I know, right? Yeah.
The cost was insane. They take up half the total cost. I mean, it's an expense essentially for them because they're the owners. But it's like, good Lord, like I was just like, let's switch this over and y'all go get Medicaid. So soon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's going to be a whole nother challenge when that's happened. I've already been through that. Just wait.
Well, it's coming real soon. So
yeah, that's another thing.
All right, guys.
Well, on that happy note, hey, remember, you can join us on Zoom every week by visiting showerdoorprofessionals.com, select professionals, and then resources. And there, boom, there's a link. You can join us. You can also find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Shower Door Professionals, and you will find us.
Good night.
Yeah.
Have a great week, you guys. See you next time.
Yep.
See you next week.
See you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.